Welcome to the final chapter of Great Expectations, where Pip and Estella, transformed by life's trials, reunite in the ruins of the past, finding peace, forgiveness, and a new beginning together. One December evening, I put my hand on the latch of the old kitchen door and looked in. Biddy sat by the fire, knitting, as she did years ago. Joe sat smoking his pipe at the kitchen table. His hair was a little gray, but he was as strong and healthy as ever. Sitting on my own chair was a small boy who looked just as I had. Joe was delighted to see me. "The boy's name is Pip for your sake, dear old chap," said Joe. "We hope he grows up a bit like you." I took young Pip for a walk the next day. We climbed the hill to the churchyard. I showed him my mother's and father's tombstones. I told him the story of what had happened to me so many years ago. At dinner, Biddy asked me why I'd never married. "I am so settled in Herbert and Clara's home," I told her. "I am so used to my own ways." "Dear Pip," said Biddy, for she knew my heart, "do you think of her often?" "That poor dream is over, Biddy," I said. But I knew I would visit Miss Havisham's house again for Estella's sake. Estella's marriage had ended in separation. She had been so unhappy with Drummel. 2 years ago, he had been killed by a horse he was beating. After dinner, I walked to the old spot. The house and the other buildings were all gone. Only the crumbled rock of the old garden wall was left. I pushed open the rusted iron gate and went in. I walked in the twilight. Memories of the old days drifted through my mind. Suddenly, I saw someone coming toward me down the garden path. "Estella," I cried. "I am greatly changed," she said. "It's a wonder that you know me." The freshness of her beauty was gone, but there was a new beauty. Her once proud eyes were sadder, softer. We sat down on a nearby bench. "How strange to meet you on the very spot where we first met so many years ago," I said. Poor old place," said Estella. "The ground belongs to me, but little by little I had to sell everything else. Do you still live abroad?" "Yes," I replied. "And you do well, I am sure." "I work hard, and yes, I do well." "I often think of you," said Estella. "Do you?" I replied. "I think about what I threw away," she said. "I did not know true worth. Suffering was my teacher. My own heart has been bent and broken into a better shape, I hope. Tell me we are still friends." "We are friends," I said, rising from the bench. "You have always had a place in my heart." "We will continue to be friends then," said Estella, smiling. The evening mists were rising. I took her hand in mine, and we went out of that ruined place. I knew we would never part again. Pip returns to Joe and Biddy's home, finding them happy with their son, whom they named Pip in his honor. He later visits the ruins of Miss Havisham's house, where he unexpectedly reunites with Estella. Changed by hardship, Estella regrets her past and asks for friendship. As they walk away together, Pip realizes they will never part again, symbolizing growth, forgiveness, and a new beginning. This chapter highlights growth, forgiveness, and second chances. Estella, humbled by suffering, and Pip, accepting life as it is, reunite in the ruins of their past. Their story shows that true happiness comes from personal growth, redemption, and genuine connections, not wealth or status. This is the end of Great Expectations. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next series.